Hello and welcome to the Official Watches YouTube channel. Here at Jardin du Mayfair, heaven on earth for the watch enthusiast, I have something really cool today. It's none other than the discontinued 5980 1R. It's the full bracelet model. If you're going to do it properly. But first, before we review the watch, guys, my tech team tell me up to 69% of you aren't subscribed. Please do hit that subscribe button so I can keep the channel growing and I can keep these videos coming fresh and hot every week. It would mean the world to me. Just tap that button now and I'll keep going. Let's get this review started. Since its launch at Baselworld in 2013, this full rose gold with black fume dial, the 5980 1R, occupied the top tier of the Nautilus wanted list. And having spent the last few years soaring far above RRP, it's been discontinued by Patek earlier this year. Some online pundits were speculating over its replacement, a new dial colour perhaps, while others appear to be confident that it's been permanently sidelined by the 5990 1R, which has the same flyback chronograph feature with the addition of a travel time function. The short answer to that speculation was that we did get a 5980 60G, which had the denim strap, which was very controversial. As you may know, I didn't like that strap when I first saw it at Watches and Wonders, but when I actually wore the watch, it won me over immediately. It's a very cool piece. But let's talk about this one. Stats are a very comfortable 40.5mm wide, 12.5mm tall with a length of 51mm, including the integrated bracelet links. It's noticeably chunkier than the 5711, which is renowned for being a slim piece, but this is to be expected as its movement is more complex, which has led to an increase in case size and a thicker bracelet for balance. I much prefer that. As you know, small watches don't really drive me wild. The plain 5711 for me is a little bit boring, and the thickness and the beefiness of this just takes it to another realm. It wears beautifully thanks to its additional weight. It's incredibly well balanced and super comfortable, so it's ideal for anyone looking for a bit of heft and a proper expensive feel when you put your watch on, because that's what you get when you wear this thing. All in, this is a spectacular iteration of the Nautilus, and if I'm being honest, it has a slight edge for me over the 5990, as the dial is a lot simpler, with only the date knocking it off from being an exercise in symmetry. As the date is useful, I can live with that. The finish is superb and blends an alternating brushed satin and high polished finish. The bezel is brushed on top with polished facets and sides, while the remainder of the case is polished by the ears on either side. The bracelet is brushed with polished side bevel and center links. It uses a pin and collar system for link removal rather than the screwed in bars, which is more of a pain in the backside to size, but the trade-off there is more security, as with screwed bars there is always an outside chance that these can work loose with wear, and the last thing you want to do is drop your Nautilus on tile or concrete. An interesting, perhaps, point of note on the Nautilus is that its crystal replicates the bezel in that it's cut to a polygon. While both the Royal Oak and the Nautilus are genter designs, of the pair, the Nautilus is the only one whose decidedly 70s angular design echoes across the entire watch. The Royal Oak has a standard circular sapphire set into an octagonal bezel. The horizontally embossed gradient dial spreads from smoky grey at the centre, moving to black around the edges with well-loomed 18-karat gold hands and markers, so legibility is not an issue here. Another interesting tidbit, hopefully, is that I actually don't like black dials on watches. They don't tend to drive me wild. But when you get up close and personal with this, you'll note that the dial changes to so many colours. It really is something special. Water resistance is the standard 120 metres. Despite the additional holes to the case, courtesy of the chronograph triggers and date pusher, Patek have managed to keep it at a very respectable 120 metres, and I love that. Now, I know this is a whistle-stop tour of this particular reference. The conclusion is a glowing one. It's a beast of a Nautilus, and if not replaced by something in full precious metal, I think it will be sorely missed. I would like to see a Watches and Wonders 2025, possibly this redone, but 1mm larger. That would be a grail watch for me. And if they made it in white gold, forget it. I would be in heaven. Tell me what you guys think. I'll tell you one last little story about this watch. Actually, it's the first ultra luxury watch I ever tried on, okay? The 5980. It was actually on leather, but it drove me into a state of total madness where I knew I wanted to work in watches. So thank you to this piece. This reference will always be a sort of special place in my heart for that. Another thing is I had a choice. So when I went to Hong Kong, if you haven't seen that YouTube video, check it out. It is one of my best, if I don't mind saying so myself. I had a choice of £15 million worth of watches to wear, and I chose this. Why? Because I really, really wanted to spend a week with this watch. And when I did, it became the one for me. I just absolutely love it. It's the daddy of the Nautilus range, in my opinion. The 5991R in blue is definitely a close contender, especially the fact that it's got the travel time complication, which I'll be honest, I prefer a travel time complication. So that's mad, right? Because I prefer travel time complication. I love the 5991R, but somehow this little thing set something off in my head. When I first tried it on, I knew I had to have one, and it's got to be the full bracelet because it is amazing. So guys, let me know what you think of this watch. I am keen to hear your thoughts. The meat and potatoes on this piece, they've come right down. It's £148,000. It's totally immaculate in every way. They're getting harder to find in this condition. It's a lovely, lovely piece, but I want to hear your thoughts. So thank you for joining me here at Jardin du Mayfair for this review of the 5981R. I love you guys. Please hit subscribe and I'll keep them coming.